Where it's
Oh,
set.
it's coming. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Sorry for the delay, everyone, but we are live currently, and we would like to introduce two amazing coaches. So let me start by introducing myself. I'm Jillian,
I'm Warwick.
and we're from Lowe's Consulting. And today we're going live so you can learn more about this amazing online business. And this is just not another live, but it's a chance to hear from two amazing women who have not only built successful online businesses, but who also went a step further and became coaches, unlocking an additional stream of income and creating even more impact. They both come from beautiful parishes in Jamaica. Samantha is from Westmoreland and Peter Gay is from St. Anne. And they've helped to guide so many, including myself and Warwick, through this digital journey. Their stories are real, their experiences are powerful, and their passion for helping others is unmatched. So, whether you're a busy professional, a parent, or just someone looking for a way out of a 9 to 5 grind, you'll want to hear what these two have to say. Let's give a warm welcome to Samantha and Peter Gay. Ladies, I'm so excited to have you here today. Help me welcome the dynamic duo.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Lowe, for having us. We are truly grateful as well and humbled by that introduction as well.
Are you guys hearing me and seeing me? Good.
Yes.
Great, great. Thank you, Mrs. Law. Boy, you make me feel very up there. You know what? I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you
You
too for
deserve it.
coming. Thank
Thank
you too
You
you.
for
both
being
deserve
here.
it.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll start quickly because we had some technical difficulties, which we will have to apologize for. So let's just jump right in.
Mhm.
So, question number one, and it's for both ladies. What was your life like before starting this online business? And what made you say, enough is enough? Sam,
If
you
you
want to
want
go
to,
first?
oh, sure, sure.
Or Pet?
Honestly, that's okay. I can go first. My life was like working from 7 in the morning till 3, and then till 2, sorry, and then starting another shift at 3 until 11 p.m. So it was two full-time jobs, basically back to back, and that was my enough of this nonsense. And on top of that too, like, I had such a big student loan back home in Jamaica. My mom got sick, and those were like the reasons why I decided, say, I realized very earlier on when I moved to Canada, even with two jobs, I will not be able to survive. And I'm glad, like, God opened my vision from the year 2020, and I saw that, because my gosh, it was like a tornado coming. Right. But having these things that drove me to starting my own online business set me up financially today.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah, because a lot of people are just tired of the long hours. And I'm sure Peter Gay will have something to say about that as well.
For sure.
Absolutely. I chuckled when I when I saw that question, when I heard that question rather, because what would my life be like? Well, what was my life like before? And in a nutshell, it did hard. Okay, it was rather difficult. And them say sometimes when trouble take you up, it shall fit you, and that is exactly what happened to me. Yes, you work in the 9 to 5 grind, but it was simply not enough. But to take it a step further, my boss gave me an ultimatum, and that is how I ended up here, right? And it was the
Right.
best thing that could have ever happened to me. You know, when them say when you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, right? So I was forced into this situation. You kind of get comfortably in the hand to mouth living for a while, and then yes, you complain about it. Yes, like, oh gosh, it's so hard, and me fear use one bill cover the next one, and kind of moving things around, and when that happened to me, I said, okay, enough is enough. I can't do no better. I'm about to lose my job. So I need to figure something out and figure it out really quick. That level of security that I thought I had was about to be taken away from me. So in a nutshell, it did rough.
Yes, I definitely understand that. And as you mentioned, a lot of people are comfortable where they are until something happens or something is about to happen. But
Absolutely.
what we're trying to say is that we have to make the preparations ahead of time so
Mhm.
that when these things come about, we are prepared for what's next and we're in a more comfortable position.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, our
James.
second question is going to be for both ladies again. This online business, it's been floating around. A lot of people, being skeptical about it. Don't know what to expect. But even though some persons are skeptical, they're still curious. What is it that you have to say to them?
Well, skepticism is normal.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's embedded in our DNA, especially as Caribbean people. Right, we start out being skeptical first because this is really thinking outside the box. It really takes you out of your comfort zone. But one of the most important things you need to do is research. Okay, it's okay to be scared, but we all fear the unknown, and the only reason why you are afraid or even skeptical is because you don't have all the information yet. So I would say take a closer look, get all the information, and then you can make a well-informed decision if this is the right fit for you or not.
Yeah.
Right, I agree. Definitely. Anything to add, Samantha?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Pet really hit the hammer on the nail. But honestly, research, and just to piggyback off of what Pet said, when we say research, we mean that if you want to come alongside us and work alongside us, you want us to mentor and coach you, that's cool. You want to look at the companies that we're joining up with. One of the first thing you want to make sure, if you're in Canada, you contact CRA. If you're in the US, contact IRS. If you're in UK or Europe, HMRC. It is very important that you do something like that. We all know there's a lot of big S's online, if you pick up what I'm saying. And everybody want to feel safe, and that's all right. And we get it, as Pet say. But I think ultimately why we so caught up with this and not starting our own business is because we embedded a certain kind of way from we small with parents until we go to school, get a college degree. And I have two of them, and they don't make me nothing, $0, 0 cents every single year, like clockwork. And so we really and truly, with research aspects, we really have to get out of that mindset because it's bringing us nowhere. And if you think times are bad right now, you better check in 5 years to come,
Yeah.
right? You wait 5 years and you see, and things are already just so hectic and so crazy. So we have to like mentally prepare ourselves. And I find that you see, once you have education, it can never be taken away from you. And you educating yourself about how to start an online business, the right way to go about it, making sure that your adjoining companies are legal. It is the right thing to do. So education, 100% for sure.
I agree with you because even as you mentioned, in another few years, we don't know where we'll be. And if we don't make this preparation, it's going to be really bad. Even as we speak, people are losing their jobs. So if you listen to the news, so many people from different industries are losing jobs right now. And what's the next step? Some of them are so fearful because they have a family to feed,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, where do I go next? But at least if you have an online business, then you have something that you can fall back on. But it's something that you have to start right away and to build so that you will reap the success later on.
Absolutely.
All right. So we'll just jump into the third question.
Okay.
So, how has this business changed your life, your day-to-day life, especially in terms of time with family, mental health, or financial peace?
Wow, really nice question. Let me touch a little bit on mental health first. I like doing my 9 to 5 before, like the two 9 to 5s I had, I feel like I was losing my mind, right?
Mm.
I never had a chance to take care of myself. And let me tell you, them time that I was Miss Chubby Mama, like I put on so much weight because I could not. I never had the time. And that, I feel like that affected me so bad mentally,
Mhm.
because where do you get time if you start work 7 in the morning till 11 p.m. at night? There's 1 hour left when you come home 11 p.m. at night for the next day to start. I never had the time for myself. And I feel like it just put me in a this sink mentally. Now I have been the clearest mentally I've ever been in my life, ever. And then
Congratulations.
thank you very much. And then I have financial peace. It doesn't mean that I don't be careful with the way I spend my money, because at the end of the day things are still very expensive and you don't want to go crazy with money. You want to make sure you spend on the things that are important. And me and my husband, we do just that. We don't go crazy. We don't buy brands, but the financial piece, I would call it 90% is there, right? And I left my other 10% to make sure I do things the correct way. And with family time, I couldn't ask for anything more than this. I get up every morning, and most mornings I'll wake up early. Some mornings depends on my night before, how long I stay up. I get up a little bit later. I go for my walk and I come in, I pick up my computer and I start working. And when I personally feel like I want to get up and go have my breakfast or my snack, that's on me. And if I want to just take a day off, all I do, I log into my schedule, I block off my schedule for the day, and I'm good to go. Nobody bother me for that day, and I'm all set to go. That is peace. But here is the thing, that didn't come overnight. Like, I worked really hard at this business and set up myself for success with this business. You don't get that kind of peace with a 9 to 5. Right? So ultimately, the freedom is there, but just like with anything else, you will get the help to work towards what you want to achieve.
Love it. I
Yeah.
love that because everyone wants peace, whether it's mentally, physically, whatever it is. You know what I mean? So if you can reach that place in your life where you are at that peace, it can mean the world of a difference. Peter Gay, anything
Absolutely.
to add?
Absolutely. So while Sam was there talking, I started reflecting on self-care, right? And for a long time, we really did not take care of ourselves. We were just all about the grind, getting up every day and you're doing the same thing. But one of the habits that we now have, and I think is one of those, I want to say it's obsessive, but it's a good obsession to have, is the spa. We're no spa girls,
Yes.
right? So
Very
so,
true.
so as you guys notice, whenever I hear the word self care, I say, okay, Sam, you want to go to the spa? Let's go. And we'll check in for an entire weekend and just be there. And we love the fact that even though we're there, we have the option to work. We can take our laptops with us and still get that work done. In terms of family time, one of the things my kids missed out on was when I went back to work, right? So mommy wasn't home cooking and cleaning and doing all that things anymore. Like they would literally come home every day and they walk through the door and they're like, I smell food, mommy made dinner, right? For years that was gone. So now I do have the option where they come home and they come home to a nice cooked meal, right? They come home to a clean house. They don't come home to a mom that is stressed out or not even present, right? So yeah, it has really given me peace of mind. And the fact that I now have something where I can say, okay, I'm preparing for retirement. I have a solid retirement plan. I have peace of mind now.
Wow.
Excellent. And
Wow.
as you said before, you
Mhm.
can go anywhere with this business. So if
Absolutely.
you're going on vacation, you don't leave it behind. It is something that you can take with you anywhere in the world. All you need is internet connection, you need your laptop, and you need a good cell phone. That's it.
That
You
is
know what
it.
I mean? So that's so much better than a brick and mortar because can you imagine going on vacation and wondering what's happening behind, in your brick and mortar business? So that's great. I just love this online business for one of the reasons, for that.
Let me jump in with a fourth question. There's a lot of online business floating around,
Mhm.
but I like you to just, I'm a matter of fact, we know the difference, but just to share with persons who might be thinking, oh, just another online business. Was it that this or online business, what kind of support it has to offer that is make it different from others?
Okay, so sometimes, so I can speak on this because I remember this was not my first time trying to get into the online space, right? Because one of the things was I was so afraid of being front and center. Like I didn't want to be on the front page. I wanted to always be in the background. So I looked into platforms like Amazon. I looked into Amazon FBA. I even went as far as started a online boutique. Right now,
Mm.
guys, I had no clue as to what I was doing, and it was a very expensive lesson. I'll put it that way. It was a rather expensive lesson. Now, when you look at this business model, the support system that I needed to be successful in that business, I did not have. With this, I do have it. So therefore, I'm able to see those successes now, right? So with this, you get a coach, you get a mentor, right? And that is and with doing an online business, mentorship is so important. As I said before, expensive lesson, couple $1,000 well down the drain, right? However, with this business, you have there's always someone there that it will be able to help you. So let's say, for example, you're going through your training. You come upon something where because you don't have no technical skills, or probably you've never experienced this before because you're coming from a totally different background, whether that is healthcare, teaching, whatever walks of life you're coming from. But let's say you're going through your training and you say, you know what, I don't understand what it is that I'm looking at. I need some assistance. You do have your mentors and you do have your coach that you can reach out to and say, hey guys, I need a little bit more assistance. Can you help me? There is always someone there that's going to respond, that is going to hold your hand through that process. Now, before I didn't have that. I wish I did, right? So it's just an amazing support system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to touch on what Pet said too, Mr. Lowe. She covered it all. There's one important thing I feel like with a little bit years of experience, I've come to realize anybody can start an online business,
Mhm.
and that's amazing. But one of the things I find a lot of young people, they want to start online business, and they do because there's a lot of information on YouTube and so forth, and then the business fizz out. And there's a reason why the fizz out happen. And the fizz out happened because you bought take Pet for example, you bought all of these fancy pieces and the clothing is beautiful and gorgeous and you model them really nice and you put them up on your store, and but how do you get traffic to go to your store? How
Mm.
exactly do you find a way to sell these really nice products that you have? And then you end up with all this inventory at home and you don't know how to get it out there. And so for that, teaching somebody how to market is very important. And I feel like other businesses are lacking how to market. We don't lack that one bit.
Nope.
We provide every single tool that you need to learn how to market. And I use the operative word learn. If you are willing to learn how to market, it is not a if maybe if you're gonna make money, it's just a matter of when you start making your money and you start making loads of it, because the tools are there. It's just really and honestly for you to follow. And if you're somebody who is not a genius at computers, that's all right. Again, you just have to be willing to learn, because all of our training is video based, and learning how to properly market online, it's all there. And then to piggyback on what Pet said, that's why you have a coach and that's why you have a mentor. That's why you have group support as well. Group support is vital for success, right? So
Yes.
with all of these things, it guarantee your success if you stick with it, for sure.
Definitely. And not even to mention the video-based training, because step by step, and you don't have to be rushing through, you do it at your own pace. And that is what I love about this business. And even with the video-based training that is so easy to follow, as you said, there is the support. And not to mention these two amazing coaches, Peter Gay and Samantha. They are always there for you. It's almost like they're holding your hands, and your mentors as well. So definitely, this is a cut above the rest when it comes to an online business. So let's jump into another question.
Okay.
So for someone who's watching and feeling stuck and unfulfilled, what would you say is the first step toward designing the life that they would not be sorry about?
I think the first step is like contact Mr. and Mrs. Low, like reach out. I feel like that's the most important thing. First, you have to vocalize what you want, right? Don't sit there. There's a many of you guys that see your advertisement all the time on repeat, on demand, on replay, and you refuse to click on it. And then 2 years down the road, you contact us and you say, "Boy, Sam, I was watching you for the past 2 years, but 2 years I could have been building this business, and 2 years I maybe would have already buy a house." And you didn't. You didn't take action. I feel like the most important thing is that you have to take action. That is crucial for your success. And say something. Be honest about what you're looking for. Be honest about what you want. Because best believe we can design a plan for your success. Like if it is that you want to start this particular business and you come on in and you explain to us, this is what I'm strong at, this is what I'm weak at, I need help here, I don't need help here. That's good for us. Just say the word, right? And show up for your business and let us help you to get there. So taking action is the most important thing to designing the future that you want for yourself, I feel.
Definitely. And Peter, again, anything to add to that?
Absolutely. The word that came to mind was decide. Decide that, hey, I've had enough. Okay,
Right.
you've been doing the same thing over and over and over and over, and then you're expecting a different result. And trust me, the result not gonna change if you don't make a change. Okay, so decide and then make that change, take action, right? And then just go from there. And the laws are going to help you through the next following steps, right? As to what to do next. Get registered, look at the information, decide whether or not this is for you or not, right? You're literally just, let me tell you something, you're literally one step away from your life totally changing, right? Just the other day, I was in Jamaica and I was doing a coaching call. I was prepping for one, and I was on the beach and I sat there and I said, oh my God. When you have that a moment, I said, oh my God, this is my life. An answered prayer, right? So that's it. Just decide. Take the next.
Yeah. Definitely, definitely. And like it's so amazing because as you mentioned, you were on the beach. That was your office. Can you imagine that? Like who gets that unless you are in this online business that we're talking about? So, as we have been discussing, do not delay. I mean, delay is danger. I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but it is always best when you see something good, because we pray for things all the time. And then when it presents itself, when God shows us the way, then you're like, oh, you're still searching. But then you don't realize that the answer is right before you. So you just have to take a chance for yourself, see what it's like, as we have mentioned, do your research, and then just jump right in because time is of the essence.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we'll wrap up with one more question. And I'd like to ask both ladies, if you hadn't taken that first step and started this business, where do you think your life would be right now?
Boy,
Would you
let
like
me
to
make you
share
go
that?
first.
Definitely not on the
Wow.
beach doing work.
Okay. May I tell you this now? What I stress out. I'd be so stressed out for sure. I can't even imagine the turmoil. Probably a mental institution because I was so straight. Um, I'm at a loss for words in terms of where I would be. I'm, however, thankful and I'm in a state of gratefulness as to where my life is now and where it's heading, and in terms of what's next. I have a few things off of my bucket list and I've ticked a few of them off already, and I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to what's next.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add, Samantha?
So much. You have one
No.
3 hour. Listen, when you ask that question, I'm like, holy macaroni, like so many things. One of the first things I could tell her that first of all, I'd be in debt. Like I am 100% debt free, and I am proud to say this. And this is not bragging, but I'm very proud to say this. I even showed a pet the other day. My credit score is almost maxed out. Like
Wow,
almost maxed
Excellent.
out.
that's
Yes, and
great.
excellent. And I would never see myself owning several property cash. No way. That would have been such an idea that is so far away from my mind. And one of the things always wanted to do, like when me and my husband got married in 2019, was to travel. You think we couldn't travel? And when I say travel, I don't mean we travel with debt, you know. We pay for our tickets, we buy, we spend like cash, right?
Yeah.
That would have never ever been a dream. And one of the biggest thing for me is that I wanted to start a family. I knew eventually it would have happened, but you know, one of the things I never wanted to do was to start a family, be in debt, and cannot figure myself out. And I never wanted when I start a family for us, both of us, to be absent. Child gone a daycare, and I'm trying to figure
Yes.
out how am I going to do this? And my child don't even get to know me. I personally do not get to raise him. And one of the things I always say, I don't want my child to go into the system because I don't want anybody to embed craziness in their brains.
Yeah.
So this business has put me at a place where I can do that. I travel. We did the house. We did the good stuff. We eat the good food and the steak too, and then starting a family. You know, so it's really amazing, man. It's really amazing, and then accomplishing this in a 5 year period of time, it is it's just like it's so humbling, and I thank God every day for such an opportunity, because I just see myself, had I not started this business, or was it not placed in front of me by God, I feel like I would have been in a credit card debt. I would have all of my cards and would have maxed out, because me I literally try to live from paycheck to paycheck. I would be like working maybe 2 jobs with a casual. There is no way I could have just worked one job.
You're
No
right.
way. And the experiences I've gained traveling, I would have never gained those experiences. So, and don't misinterpret me, you know, guys, when you're watching this. Like, all of this didn't happen one time. This, what I'm saying to you, happened over a 5 year period of time. But when
Yes.
I look back at my bucket list now, I have the only thing that is left on my bucket list that I have not done yet is, though I've not done the Philippines yet. And the Philippines is, God's willing, my next year travel. And I have not done the African safari. Those are my 2 things that I have left on my bucket list. My bucket list is almost cleared. Almost.
I think
You
that
know?
list is getting a
Wow.
little longer.
That's
No,
great.
no. Honestly, like
That's
when me, you know,
amazing.
when I came to Canada, I had that list. You understand, pet? I had the list, and then when I look at it now, I'm like, okay,
It's
you know,
shrinking.
doing investments, that is a never-ending cycle. That is
Yeah.
going to keep on
Yes.
Yeah.
happening. So I don't put that on my bucket list, because a bucket list is
Right.
something that you put and you accomplish it and you tick it off. You
Okay.
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
so I have 2 things left to do on my bucket list. Africa. Well, I've been to Africa before, but not the safari, not the African giraffe safari. So I want to do that. And then my next thing is, I have to, I don't know when, but I have to go to the Philippines, and I want to tour all the islands in the Philippines. And I am going to video and I'm going to vlog every last bit of it. And those are my only 2 things. And I am just 37 years old. I'm 37 or I'm 36. One out of the two. Yeah.
36.
I'm 36. See, I'm 36, right.
Yeah.
So, and all of that, every single thing was through this business. So I know for a fact, even living here in Canada, I would not be able to afford it had it not been for this business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, once you come in, you decide to take the step and to come in, you will see so many other similar stories of people. They're just crushing their goals and dreams that they never thought would have been possible. And it was only because of this online business. So congrats to Samantha, congrats to Petergate to reach
Yeah.
where you are right now. And I'm sure there's so much more to go, so much further to get to in this business for you. So I just want to thank you so much for spending some time with us. And we have some friends who are online, and we just want to welcome you. Thank you so much for joining in with us with this discussion. I hope that you have learned a lot. And for those who already knows what it is to be in this business, thank you so much for joining us. So if there is something you have heard today that stirred something in you, don't ignore it. This is your sign. We're here to help to take you to the first step toward that financial freedom, more impact, and more peace of mind. Please get in touch with us, any one of us here on the screen, and let us help you to start your journey. Okay? And there's a quote that I have for you. And this is from the talented Bob Marley. You never know how strong you are until being strong is your only choice. Okay?
Love.
So until then, I would like to thank you again.
Thank you,
Amazing
guys.
Coach Samantha, amazing Coach Peter Gay for being here, answering these questions, highlighting the online business, and just encouraging others to be a part of it. Thank you so much.
Thank
You guys are welcome. Thank you for having us.
No
Thank you.
problem.
And have
Bye,
a
guys.
great evening, everyone.
You too. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.